What is going on, everybody? Not gonna waste a lot of time letting that play. Want to get down into it? I'm trying something new tonight. As you can see from the thumbnail, we are gonna have investment chit chat. We're gonna be talking about stocks and crypto strategies and tips. What you think about the market, what you have going on, what I have going on. We're gonna talk about it all without any further ado. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Investing with Rod. I am your boy Rod, the host that sometimes does the most. And I know it's a little late, it's Sunday, and that's why I tell people you need to be subscribed. You need to hit that notification bell, hit all, because you never know when I may or may not pop up. But if it's something on my mind, and this has been on my mind for a few days, and doing this, and I kind of played with the thumbnail last night, but I want to start doing investment chit chat where we just get together as investors or people that's trying to learn about investing, people that I can learn from, and just come together as a unit. And we never know. I can tell you on a daily basis, I watch other finance content creators and it never fails. I was on the live stream today with Lisa J. Stocks, and it never failed, man. I watch them, and next thing I know, I'm investing what they're talking about after I do my research. So we're going to talk about all that tonight. Hey, welcome to Investing with Rod. On this channel, we talk about stocks, we talk about crypto, we talk about exchange traded funds or ETFs, but more importantly, we show you how to invest on a budget. You only have 5, 10, 20 bucks to invest every week, every 2 weeks, every payday, once per month. You're in the right place because your boy is going to show you how to do it. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a little better than that. If you only have $1, I'm going to show you how to invest it. I am not a financial advisor. I won't be touching your money. I won't be investing your money. I won't even tell you what to invest in. I'm going to tell you what I'm buying and what I'm investing in, and maybe talk a little bit about what people are talking about, but make sure you do your own research before you invest any of your money, because I don't want you coming back saying, Rod said it. No, Rod said what he's getting. And Rod's trying to teach people the ins and outs and how simple investing can be. Well, I got asked, I don't even know if that's proper English. I was asked a question today in Lisa J. Stocks Live. Will the market be red or green next week? Well, I don't have a crystal ball. If I did, boy, I would be super duper rich. However, here was my answer. I looked today, and I'm going to look right now. And if you see me looking down at my phone, it's because I have my notes for the chit chat in my phone, but I want to look right now. So the first question, what do I think the market's going to do? I'm going to tell you how I answered it. Yep, it's going to be the same answer. I think tomorrow, the crypto market is going to be red. Opinion. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have no special hookups. When it comes to the stock market, there was some news put out, and we're going to talk about that as well. There was some news put out about all the children getting $1,000 invested into the S&P 500. That's the Standard & Poor's 500, the top 500 stocks in the United States stock market. And every child, I think, that was born at a certain time frame. And I had to do a lot of research. And even in the live today, no one really had a clear answer. That's going to lead me to what I think the stock market is going to be next week. A lot of times when we've heard news in this year, there's been holes in the news. We'll hear this fabulous news, but it's not solid news. It's not concrete news. We'll hear this great idea, but maybe it's just me. Nobody really knows the plan that leads to this great idea. Like, okay, we're giving the children $1,000 or $1,000 to invest in the S&P 500, but nobody really know the rules. I mean, is it all the kids? Is it kids born during this term? Is it kids that were born on this certain date? Is it going in a high yield savings account? I mean, nobody really knows. So with all this confusion and stuff, personally, I think the market is going to be red tomorrow. It's just my opinion. I don't know. Now, on this chit chat with Rod, this is something I want to try to do every week. I want to try. What's up, Information Man Show? My man just came in the crib, man. Make sure y'all check him out. This is a brother I've been rocking with for a long time. Much love and respect, brother. Respect to you, my man. Now, with this particular segment, this investment chit chat. I want to try to do this on Sundays going into the week starting before Monday. And again, I'm just giving my opinion, man. I'm not a guru. I'm not an expert. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not anything. I'm just a guy that's really going to be telling you what I'm doing, what I've been looking at, what I'm hearing other people talk about and look at. Sorry about the rattling of the screen. I'm on my laptop. First thing I want to talk about, I see we got Lisa J. Stocks. We got Yolanda W. in the building. First thing I want to talk about, first elephant in the room is SCHD. And I'm going to be sharing my screen, unsharing it, sharing it, resharing it. In case you don't know, SCHD is supposed to be the dividend ETF, just like Realty Income is a dividend stock. I made a video about getting rid of Realty Income, and I thought I was going to get taken out. People were upset. Excuse me. I did a video recently on SCHD, and I'm getting rid of that, and people got hyped up about that. But what I want to do is take a look at the proof in the pudding here and see. I'm curious, anybody out there that has SCHD, because I'm looking at some heavy hitters doing videos, and I still got to watch some that are talking about getting rid of this. And SCHD is the Charles Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity Exchange Traded Fund, or ETF. It's got some big long name. S is in Sam, C is in Charles, H is in Harry, D is in David. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, man. And let's see here. So I'm looking right now at the Charles Schwab. Here, let me take this here, do this here. U.S. Dividend Equity ETF. It's traded at $27.25. So what I like about it, it is a cheap ETF. And when we say ETF, we're talking about a bunch of stocks under one umbrella. So instead of investing in, say, Microsoft or Apple, and the tech sector drops and you lose a significant portion of your money, maybe for the day, maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days. If you have an ETF and you have a pool, and we're going to look at this and see how many stocks are in here. If you have a pool of stocks under one umbrella, if one or two go down, there's a high possibility that 2, 3, 1, 4, 5 could go up. So this right now has 103 holdings. I'm on Robinhood. Robinhood is so easy. It's so funny because I was at Lisa's live today. She likes and uses Webull. I can't stand Webull. I like and use Robinhood. She signed up for it to become knowledgeable about it, but she chooses to use Webull. The reason I bring it up is your preference. Don't get caught in what Rod like and what Lisa like and what Johnny like and what Luther like. What do you like? What's good for you? It might be the hardest program out there. So 100 things. Now, here's why I think SC, and I'm going to go back up. Here's why I think SCHD went wrong when they had a reconstitution. And I want to say it was around March. I don't know when it started, but they started talking about around March of 2025. And what they'll do is they'll take underperforming stocks out of the ETF and replace it with better performing stocks. Well, what they did in a nutshell, without getting super technical, is they took all or most of the technology, and it's only representing 10% of the fund, and they increased the energy sector up to 19%. It's right here, ladies and gentlemen. Energy 19.39, technology 10.8. The energy sector has been tanking all year. Look at Chevron, look at Ekster, look at ConocoPhillips. I just named some stock. I don't even know which one's in here. It don't matter to me because I'm getting rid of it. But top 10 holdings. I did this at Texas Instruments. I didn't even know they still exist. Last time I heard they was making calculators or something. ConocoPhillips, I just said that one. Chevron, Cisco Systems, not bad, but I would have picked something else. Amgen, Merck, PepsiCo, AbbVie, Verizon. I'm sorry, y'all. At least have one big dog. And I'm not saying none of these companies are big dogs, but I'm talking about the Mag 7 or the Magnificent 7. Your Amazon, your Apple, your Microsoft, your Google, your Tesla, Netflix. Have one big company in this. I mean, it's like I almost feel like somebody wanted to fail so they could come back and be a hero. I mean, I'm just saying. But let's see what it's been doing. So I'm going to go back up here. Year to date, it's not too bad. It's down 0.84%. I'm right here. And in the last year, it's probably up a little bit. I don't know. It's up 5.85%. Now, keep in mind, you're going to get a dividend roughly about 26 cents per share. Let me double check that real quick while I have y'all right there. I'm not going to be shifting screens that much. 103, yeah, about 26 cents a share. So, okay, whoop-de-doo. But I'm looking at this, man, and okay, 5% in a year. That's not too bad if I'm getting my little stuff. And 5 years, it's up 55%. Everybody's saying it's the dividend ETF. That's fine. That's fine. But I guarantee you, you go to YouTube. Don't even watch none of my videos. Go to YouTube and watch a dividend video and see how much money they have total to get enough dividends to live off for an entire year. The numbers are astronomical. So in Rod's itty bitty world, I need a bunch of money to get a bunch of dividends. So I'm going to lean to that growth factor. I'm just telling y'all what I'm doing. I ain't telling y'all what to do. I'm going to focus on growth and have dividends. And then hopefully at some point all this mesh together and my growth is going to turn into dividend. I'm not going to sit over here talking about 55%. And y'all about to see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to talk about 55% in the next 5 years. That's not bad. That's good. But let me type in DGRO because this is one I'm thinking about replacing with. I'm not going to get deep into this because I'm about to do a video on this, but I do want to look at one or two things here. Matter of fact, I'm only going to look at one. I'm going to look at two things. 5 year. It's already doing better. It's a dividend. It's a core dividend, but it's up 69%. It's up 14 more percent than SCHD. Now, I can tell you the dividends suck. They're probably about 14, 15 cents, maybe 16 cents per share. And I'm having to pay $65 per share instead of 27. So yes, I'm giving up some dividends here. But then I'm going to go down here now. Technology is 19%, almost what energy was for SCHD. And financial services is 20%. Different approach. Where's energy? Energy is down at 5%. Now, top 10 holdings, I bet you they got some big dogs in here. I wouldn't be talking about it if they didn't. Let me just be real. JP Morgan Chase, ExxonMobil Energy. Well, we got one, but they pay a good dividend. Apple, Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson, another good dividend. Broadcom, another good dividend. AbbVie, good dividend. Procter & Gamble, been paying dividends as long as I've been living. Home Depot and Merck. Some of the same companies. But, and I'm going to get off this here. I recently did one, but one that I want y'all to look at because I do want to keep this short is FDVV, Fidelity High Dividend ETF. It's at $53. We're getting closer to that $27 for SCHD. I want to go 5 years. 93. That's the one I'm rolling with. This is the one I did the video. This is the ETF that's replacing SCHD for ROD. And I can tell you right now, I have to have $53 per share, but they're paying a 45-cent dividend. They're not going to be paying 52, so I'm kind of paying double the money. But look at this, man. I'm almost doubling my return rate. Are y'all following me there? Now, I got to look at my notes here, and we done with that. We done with SCHD. I'm gonna be moving quick on these, man. If y'all have questions, put them in the comments. I'm gonna be going back and forth. All right, what's the next thing I want to talk about? Before I go any further, I do want to talk about dry powder. I've heard that, I think Larry Jones was the first one I heard talk about dry powder. And with dry powder, basically all it is money that you want to have set to the side. So when the market dips, you're not trying to time the market, but if you've been watching a stock and it dips to your, or ETF or crypto, and it dips to your threshold, you'll have some money readily available to go ahead and invest. When you hear dry powder, that's what they're talking about. Rod suck at dry powder. I get too excited. I see a stock I'm buying today. Hands down. And then we're going to talk about some stocks I recently entered in, which in my world is making SCHD mega obsolete. I've already found a good dividend ETF in FDVV that's shortened me a little bit. It's shortened me a little bit. But I'm going to tell y'all how I plan on overcoming this whole dividend thing. I'm going to just say one name, Main Street Capital. They paying 25 cents per share every month. And then every quarter, they're paying a special dividend. So, okay, but what if Main Street tank? Great question. I won't have it anymore, but I'm going to have backups to the backups to the backup. I'm not going to depend on Main Street if it's an individual stock. Now, if I had another, which I have FDVV, but let me show y'all something here. Let me pull up one here that I recently am looking at. And this is not going to be, actually, this is going to be an ETF. I'm going to pull up an ETF. And let me get it up here first. And I'm not going to focus on it because I already did a video. Y'all go check out the video. I'm just going to show you one or two little things here. And let me just get to where I want it to be. All right, so we're going to go ahead and share this little screen here. And what we're going to be talking about, what's one of the most important things going on in the world right now? I'm not going to leave y'all out there hanging with that question because it's going to take forever. One of the biggest things they're talking about, we're talking about AI, we're talking about people serving cheeseburgers that aren't really people at McDonald's and all that. But cybersecurity is super important. Personal lives, business lives, it doesn't matter. So I wanted to find me something dealing with cybersecurity. And I'm just going to show y'all one or two things. Like I said, it's $75 a share. In the last 5 years, it's up 122.25%. Do y'all think I'm really worried about SCHD going up 55% when I'm over here? Now, please keep in mind, past performance is not an indicator of future performance. Is it going to do this in the next 5 years? I don't know. But I'm not going to pick a company that I know is about to go out of style. Like, this is just me now. Does the Chevron and Exxon do more than just have gas stations? Yes, they have natural gas, other things. But am I going to put a lot of money into gas stations when I know the whole automotive industry is going to electricity? No. I'm not going to go talk about for 5 years. No. They better be doing something else, and then I'll invest in them. However, cybersecurity, as long as they got these computers and phones and laptops and notebooks and calculators and watches and everything, and shades and all this other stuff. They got all this technology. Cybersecurity is not going anywhere. $122. I'm dropping the mic on that. Now, here's another one that I entered a position into. I can't remember if I bought it Friday or if it's going to buy tomorrow. I can't remember. I'm so excited. I'm typing it wrong. Notice, y'all, I'm not typing I'm not typing the name of the company. I'm just typing symbols. NRG. All right, NRG. Bear with me here. It's $158 a share. What has it done in the last 5 years? Let me just make this big, y'all. Let me make this big in case y'all ain't got your glasses. Like, I got some glasses on, so don't nobody think I'm talking about nobody. Here, boy, I can't never get this right. If y'all see what I'm going through, there we go. I want the people in the back. Y'all see where it said NRG Energy? And at 5 years, y'all, this is what it's done in the last 5 years, up 378%. Y'all, I don't script this stuff. I just jotted down some notes of the stuff I did last week, and we here having an investment chit chat. Because I can't keep this to myself, and I hate to tell y'all, but I work at night by choice. I run the Point Blank Network at night at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I can't call nobody at 2 a.m. Well, I can, but they're going to curse me out and say, hey, man, I just came across NRG because I watched a YouTuber talking about it, and I decided to look at it and holy moly. Holy moly. Who said that in 2025? Rod does. Who knows what I'm going to say, as long as it's not profanity at 3. All right, so what else did we enter a position in? Man, it just look like SCHD. I should just act like those letters don't even exist in the alphabet. Just skip over. PQRT, just skip over the S, skip over the C, the H, just leave them out. So well tile, they got me slipping on this one. I thought this was what do you call a cell phone tile, but no, it's got something to do. Now, cybersecurity was an ETF, the last one I just did. Well tile is an individual stock, and it's got something to do with some healthcare facilities. Let's see what it says. It's a healthcare infrastructure company which engages in seniors housing operation, post-acute providers, and health systems to fund the reliable whatever. All right, so it's got something to do with that. Now I'm gonna come down here to 5 years. Look here, y'all. Man, if I had some more money, I'd go to Vegas, but then my streak will run out. Y'all, in the last 5 years, up 181%. SC who? Dividend what? I got Main Street Capital for dividend. I got FDD for dividend. I got DGRO for dividend. I probably got some other stuff for dividends. Now I'm worried about my growth, baby. I can't. Man, I saw a thing the other day. I think they said if you have $1 million starting at some age like that, I ain't at like 30. By the time you get 65, you can live and have $64,000 a year at 5,000 some a month. I'm like, I could have $1 million, but I ain't got $1 million right now. So this is this is not, and let me use a big word for it. This is not applicable for me because I don't think I fit all these categories, you know. But now we're gonna shift gears, y'all. Let's talk about this here, man. I'm gonna type this up because boy, this here sure do seem to get a lot of people tripping. Notice I put the symbol BTC, Bitcoin. Boy, I see this here. If I didn't know what was going on, and I was new to investing with Rod, all I heard about was the stock market, the Dow Jones, and some by some S's and P's and 300s and 500s in Bitcoin. I would say, man, 109,000, this is out of my league. I can't do nothing with this. What am I gonna do with this? I don't even have 9,000, less known 109,000. What am I gonna do? So what I'm gonna do is know which, this is the first thing I'm going to do, pretty much all of them do. Which platform do I like the best where I can buy fractional stocks, ETFs, and crypto if possible, or I can buy fractional crypto or fractional stocks and ETFs. What do we mean when we say fractional? Fractions, just think of it as a slice of the pie. A whole share, a whole Bitcoin is the whole pie, 109,000. A slice, do I have any money in here? I doubt it. Nope, I ain't got enough. I got 44 cents because I could buy $1 worth of Bitcoin right now. But this is what I want to talk about. I'm going to do a video, so I'm not going to dwell on this. I'm not going to dwell on it, but I just want people to understand. So here's a scenario. You got $50 extra because you got overpaid. You traded in a car. I'm just going to use an example. People don't even know this really be happening, but this is the best example I can get. You traded in a car and you had gap insurance on this car. And you still had some time left to pay for this car. Well, people need to understand when you get gap insurance, it's for the duration of the loan. In case something happens, then it doesn't cover the value of the vehicle. Now, gap don't always pay the vehicle off, but that's a whole nother live stream. Well, if you traded in early before that loan term is up, they're going to mail you what they call a gap refund. Let's just say your gap refund happens to be, it usually is not a lot because they pay for gap. It's probably maybe $1,000 for 6 years, depending on what kind of car you have. But let's just say they send you a $46 check. Don't ask me what I came up with that number because that's kind of the checks I usually get, about $46. Well, I wasn't expecting $46. Can't think of nothing I really want. I probably can, but I ain't going to even go through all of that because I'm going to be pissed off because what I used to get for $46, I can't get no more. And I'm going to go and buy me $46 worth of Bitcoin with money I wasn't expected to get because I didn't know there was no such thing as a gap refund. And what was I going to do with $46 that I didn't know about? Nothing. And I'm going to watch what happens. And I ain't going to put no more money in it because I don't know nothing about this Bitcoin stuff. I'm not going to. But in a year, let's just say that was last year. In a year, Bitcoin is up 87.92%. It's up more than SCHD. Everybody run around SCHD, oh God, SCHD, whatever. But don't nobody even know about Bitcoin. Now, could it go down 87%? Yes. But let me just do something here. So I'm gonna do some real calculations real quick. Got a couple more things and we're gonna be getting out of here. Again, I want to keep these brief. I'm gonna go through the comments though. So we had $46 times 87%. So y'all, that $46 that we didn't do nothing with made $40 in profit. Now we have $86.02. Guy like me gonna let it ride, but you could take your $40 out and go buy whatever you thought you wanted when you had 46, put 6 with it, keep that original 46 in there, and now you spending the house's money. If you go to the casino, you know what I'm saying. You took your 46 that you wasn't expecting, you bought some Bitcoin, you let it sit for a year, it turned into 86, you sold 40, used the house's money, which is the 40 that you made, went and bought whatever you wanted to buy and left the $46 in there. Or you can take your 46 back and leave the house's money in Bitcoin. However you want to look at it to make you feel better. But understand, at some point, if you're playing with the house's money, I don't understand why you're getting upset. I can't get upset about something that ain't mine. I can, but depending on how much I like the person. Anyway, moving on, y'all. I am going to show you another position. I want people to look at this. This is a crypto. You cannot buy it on Robinhood. It will show me the price. It is called Tron. I had this before. I sold it. Ticker symbol TRX. Notice I just typed TRX. I get a thrill out of trying to remember these things. So, Tron, very affordable. Trading at 28 cents per coin, roughly 29 cents. But man, I think I sold mine roughly about a year ago. Maybe a little longer, but we're going to say a year. What has it done in the last year? Oh, Lord have mercy. When I sold it, it was about 13 cents. Now it's 28 cents because it went up 15 cents. And that's 121% per year. Don't get caught up in this, how much it costs. Get caught up in the percentages. Because the more you put here, the more, and this go up more, the more you're going to have. All right, man, let me jump in these comments. And then once I go through them, I'll look and see if it's anything else. But see, I'm telling y'all, man, when you look at this stuff, all I can say is keep watching, because I'm not trying to sound smart. I'm not trying to show nobody how much I know. I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to get people to see how easy it is to invest. And I don't even know if this is a word, but I'm trying to show people commonsensical ways. I had a boss that used to use that word. To think about investing, and then you start to look at it like house's money. If you can put it and relate it to something that you already know and understand, it becomes that much easier. Like if you tell a kid when they get ready to learn how to swim, baby, it's just like getting in a bathtub, but you know how you don't have no space to float, and you be wanting to float. Now you'll have all the space you want. Oh, really? They're excited. You playing with the house's money, and you got somebody that like to go to a casino. They're excited. If you just go over there and say, hey, you should get into crypto, and that's all you got to say, you ain't saying nothing. Anyway, let me jump in here, man. See what people talking about. And we got, like I said earlier, we got information, man. If you got a comment or questions, please put it in here. And there may be a couple more things I want to hit. Much love and respect to you, information, man. And he said, thank you. And I hope you're doing well. Yeah, man, same to you. I'm doing well, man. Probably feeling more sharper than ever in my life. I wasn't going to even do it live. Decided to do one at the last minute. Lisa J. Stock says, peace. What's going on, Lisa? Thank you again for having me on the show. Yolanda W. says, good evening. Information man speaking Lisa J. and showing love to Yolanda W. Information man is info man. I'm trying to hang in there. Keisha, what's going on? I just saw you in the Griffins. Like, hey there, Rod. Good evening, my friend. Good evening to you. That's great. Everybody's showing a little information, man. Let me see. Because I just saw these numbers go down. And I don't want that to happen. I try to say, once I say everything, I'm gonna tell y'all something too, man. On PBT, on every channel I have, do y'all know the good stuff actually happen after I finish my presentation? The informative stuff, the funny stuff, the educational stuff, the bloopers, everything happened after I do my presentation. I mean, I've had chairs falling apart, all kind of stuff. It happens when I do this part. One thing I didn't talk about that I do want to talk about, I want people to think about it while I go through these comments. XRP stands for X-ray Rod Paul. XRP, that's the symbol. Just want y'all. Matter of fact, if you got some XRP, just put a yes in the chat. If you don't have none, you ain't got to put nothing. And I know some people get in these type of lives and they be afraid because they don't want to say the wrong thing, man. I'm telling you right now, if y'all only knew how many wrong things I said when it came to investing, it would trip y'all out, because I had no idea half the stuff I know now. And I sounded probably crazy to some people. Information, man, speaking of Yolanda again. I've been buying VYM other than SHD for a while. David, smart man. In case y'all don't know, that is the Vanguard high yield. Man, I don't know why I got this stock chart up here, but I'm glad I do, because I can just do this real quick. Then I'm gonna put me up there. All right, here it is. Vanguard high dividend yield ETF. Now, I didn't understand this when I first got into this, but they're looking at, I'm gonna pull it up and then I'll show y'all. They're looking at high yield. See, I didn't get that. I don't like that word right there, and I'm gonna explain why. I just like when it said high dividend, because yield, if your stock or your ETF is based on a high yield, the performance could suck. There are companies out there right now with a 12, 13% dividend yield and losing money when it comes to growth, and that yield that you're making on dividends does not make up for the amount of money that's being lost on the investment. In the words of Yolanda W., no bueno. She didn't make that up, obviously. That's a whole nother language, but she said more than anybody I know in the U.S. That's no bueno. Seriously. So I don't like that. And if I'd have knew this, I probably would have never invested in. But let's see who they have. Now, but first, before we do that, let's see, what has it done? Let's just go start in 3 months, up 11.9%. They got to have somebody right. I pretty much know, and I do have some money in this. And year to date, up 5.8%. In the last year, up 14%. Still better than that SCHD stuff. And I have nothing against, I own SCHD, but man, if I own it, you got to perform. How many people that watch sports, football, tennis, we're going to stick with it. It's got to be a team sport. Volleyball, football. How many people that watch football do they put the fifth string quarterback in during the Super Bowl when they got the first, second, and third string quarterback available? Nobody does that. I'm not going to go get no sucky stock just because this is the popular person. No, you got to perform, baby. It's a reason you fifth string. You ain't performed to be first string. Anyway. All right, so let me go down here. What's this invested in? Kind of looking like the other one, financial services, technology. I'm not going to go over that. But number one, when you look at these, the heaviest weight is going to always be at the top. 5.83% of the assets, JP Morgan, ExxonMobil, Walmart. See, I can tell you, I love Walmart stock. I own it, but to me, their dividend could be better. Good dividend, good dividend, good dividend. Could be better. Good dividend, good dividend, good dividend, good dividend, good dividend, and a good stock. I've recently been, and I'm going to do a video on that this week. I've recently been loading up on Bank of America. I have JP Morgan as well. Philip Morris have quite a bit of that, and that's also cool. So this isn't bad. They're even though they say yield, these companies have pretty good dividends. So I'm glad I didn't get too excited, but sometimes you have to watch these little tricky words, and you need to know what they mean. And and get beyond just, oh man, I heard Bobby, Billy, and Tommy and Rod and Lisa talk about VYM. I'm gonna get me some. Why? I heard somebody the other day talking about how good chicken liver was, and I hated it as a kid. I ain't gonna try it. I don't care if the whole world say it tastes good. I ain't trying it again. If y'all get what I'm saying. So let me come back over here and go ahead and see here. Yolanda Samuel, information man. Pray all is well with you. Hey, information man, I can't Sundays, man. You got to go back live, man. Man, paying good dividends. See, y'all, I like this here. I'm not gonna say the number, but Yolanda W set a goal for Maine, and recently she reached that goal. And the excitement that I heard in her voice and the sense of accomplishment was phenomenal. And she wasn't talking like a million shares or 200,000, but she reached her goal. I'll leave it at that. And Keisha speaking to Yolanda and David, I got a mountain of dry powder for the next Great Depression. What? Man, hey, David, do me a favor. First of all, man, if you ain't subscribed to the channel, I don't want none of your dry powder. But if you donate, you can do it. But please do me a favor, man. Free 99 doesn't cost a penny. And that goes for anybody subscribe to the channel, man. We are very close to our milestone. I will leave it at that. Very close to our first milestone. And when that happens, I got to be like I think, who's on that song? Work. Oh, Rihanna. Yeah, I gotta go to work for real. I'm gonna be doing lives in the middle of the night. You gonna wake up and wipe your eyes and go in there and eat your cookie or whatever you do in the middle of the night. When you wake up, go to the restroom, and I'm gonna be live. Hey, y'all. I'm serious, man. What have I got to do? Information man said, interesting. And we got your favorite couple in the house. Man, y'all cruising, not cruising. I don't know what they doing, man. It was on the World America, or the MSC America, or the World of America Mall. I don't know. They was somewhere. Buzz is in the house, man. Buzz, y'all. I was just talking about Buzz the other day. I'm gonna tell y'all. I gotta tell y'all. I hope Buzz still in here. Your favorite couple, peace and respect, family. Yes, man. Everybody know your favorite couple. Everybody. Hey, Yolanda W. She got. I ain't going to get into that. Everybody started to know. Y'all need to. I let her put it there. I think she'd be coming to YouTube. But Buzz, I got to tell y'all about Buzz, man. I was just talking about Buzz, not in a bad way, in a great way the other day. Buzz, I hope you're still in here. Just making it to the show. What's up, Roddy? Buzz and gave me a whole name and everything. When I first came across Buzz, he was one of the first people when I changed the name from Points Blank Finance to Investing with Rod that commented. And if I'm not mistaken, I did a video on Blue Owl Capital, and I said that it was a BDC, a business development company. And I want to say Buzz corrected me. Correct me if I'm wrong, Buzz, but it was another company that was also affiliated with Blue Owl that was really the BDC. And Blue Owl was something totally different than what I had told the whole world. And I could have got upset. But why would I get upset when I was wrong? It was a learning opportunity. And now Buzz has still been around. He's still coming. And he left a comment the other day and said, yeah, I remember that, Buzz. I got a good memory, man. I got to knock on wood, y'all. I'm 55. I keep saying that. I got a good memory this year, Buzz. I don't know about next year, though. But yes, I remember that, man. And the moral of this story is sometimes we're so quick to shut people down and shut them out when if we just take a moment and look in the mirror and realize and just willing to admit, hey, I'm wrong. I put out bad information. I can learn from this guy. And that's what I've been doing ever since. The other day, I got one of my best comments on this channel. He said, good video, Rod. I don't write this stuff down. I write a lot of stuff down, but I don't write this. If it's worth remembering, I'm going to remember. You can believe that. But anyway, Buzz, it's great to see you here, man. Now, that don't mean everybody going to leave me a bunch of comments correcting me trying to find something wrong because I ain't perfect. I'm going to do something wrong. But if you do see something, please feel free to put in the comments. But I don't need no flood of them, you know. If you see a bunch of people say, Rod, you said this, wait for the next video and say something. But I doubt it didn't happen because I'm going to do my homework. Almost to 1,000 subs. Congrats. Thank you, David. I wasn't going to say nothing. That's the milestone I was talking about. I'm superstitious, man. I don't walk under no ladders. I don't. I ain't into the step on the crack and breaking nobody back. I don't trip like that. But I ain't split no poles. If I'm with my lady and we go and we split a pole, I got to go back around and get on the side. She went off. Somebody going back around and try to tell your lady that, hey, can you go back around the pole? It ain't gonna work. So you may as well do it. Yep, still here, Roddy. Hey, man, I kind of like that name, man. But hey, don't everybody start calling me that either. Only Buzz, only Buzz. Good information. Thank you, man. Coming from the Information Man Show. Information showing love to Buzz. Wow, you remember that? Yeah, man. You tend to remember when you're corrected. It's how you handle it. Like an elephant. Yeah, I got a pretty good memory. I appreciate the shout out, right? Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you because I learned something, and it's always about learning stuff. All right, I'm looking here. Dry power. We talked about that. Oh, XRP. Does anybody out there own XRP? If you own XRP, let me know. The reason I asked it, do y'all really think it's going to do everything everybody's saying it's going to do? I believed it, then I didn't believe it, then I believed it again. And now I'm so confused. I don't know whether I believe it or not. I'm not selling it, but I had started this little thing. I was going to at least buy 1 or 2 a day. But man, let me look. What is this thing doing? I just want to look at something, man. I'm going to show y'all something. But then I got to share a quick story with y'all, and then we're going to raise up. Make sure this is, yep. I'm going to share this quick story, and then we're going to raise up here. All right, so I'm going to type XRP. And luckily, that's what it's called. So it matches. All right, it's currently trading at $2.27. Today, it's up 2.36% today. In the last year, I'm going to go here because I want to show y'all something. I got to go a little farther out. Y'all bear with me. I know y'all probably say, what is he doing? Is he having fun? No, not really. All right, so we're just going to put it right here. We're just going to put it there because I want to say it was right around, golly. Anyway, y'all see that 20, there we go. That's good enough. 27 cents. This is roughly where I bought XRP. And I stopped because I said, man, this is boring. I'm telling this story at the end for a reason. Yeah, I've been talking ish about SCHD all night. But notice I did say once and I'm about to say it twice. I didn't sell all my SCHD. I sold some. And I'm going to DCA out. DCA is dollar cost average. You'll mostly hear people say dollar cost average in. Well, I'm about to dollar cost average out of SCHD if it keep it up. I'm gonna probably, if I liquidate, it won't be no more than 40 or 50%. I won't make my final decision until you do another reconstitution and do whatever they got to do next year. But this was boring, y'all. And this was January 15, 2021. Well, I wanted to sell this, and then it got about right here, and I got excited. But then it stayed. Then it came back down. Y'all notice right here? I don't even know if I looked at it when that happened. I think I looked at it right around here. I said, wow, it went up. I can't believe it. And then the next time I looked, we went right back almost where we started, y'all. 33 cents. I'm like, what the heck? So some kind of way, Rod missed the wave. I missed the 28 to whatever, $1.56. Now I'm back at 33, but I still made 5 cents. But right now I'm mad because if y'all look across here, this pretty much didn't fluctuate much. The only reason I still had my XRP is because I was lazy and I decided I didn't feel like hooking up my cold wallet, my ledger, and selling it because it's a whole evolution. Well, right here, something happened. Something happened here. I want to say probably around inauguration. I ain't even looked. Well, yeah, boy, right around election day. November 1st. Ooh, look what happened. Bam. It just shot up. And by the end of November, I'm glad I was lazy. Go look, $2.60. The moral of that story is I didn't, and thank goodness I didn't sell it all. But I learned from this, ladies and gentlemen. I learned I'd rather lose half of it. I'd rather lose half of it trying to make more than I keep it all and not make nothing, if that makes sense. I may have to say that again, make it make sense to me, but I ain't gonna say it right now. Because right here, I could have sold it right around here. I could have, this is what I probably was thinking about selling. But look what I would have missed out on. Where is it at? What, look, 294? 302? Be patient. This PL, every time I come on this channel from now for a while, everything you see on this hat, I'm going to come up with a word. Now, this is the Pittsburgh Pirates. But today, the P on this hat is going to stand for two things as I get ready to do my outro. When it comes to investing, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. But I will say this: patience, perseverance. Patience, perseverance. That's what the P stands for today. Let me see here. All right. Buzz said, not SCHD. We love it, Roddy. Okay, that's why I'm keeping about 50 or 60% of it, but I went from love to liking. SCHD is the fart of my portfolio. Whoa, David. Ooh, David, man, Buzz gonna have something to say about that. SCHD is the fart of my portfolio. I never heard it put it like that. I'll never buy another share. VOO, which is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. VTI, the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, is what I buy for long term. Now, I do have, all right, we're going to go to school before I get out of here, and this is it. Last call for comments. I have VOO, but I'm going to show y'all, man. I'm going to show y'all what you can learn messing with Rod. Let me go back over here. Let me pull it up over here. When I get excited, man, my letters start getting stuck, like I'm remixing or something here. Let me see. Man, what were we just looking at? I forgot what I was about to do. I get to talking. Yeah. That one. I'm gonna school y'all real quick. A lot of people ain't heard of this. I don't know how I ended up with it somehow. But y'all, I just pulled up the SoFi Select 500 ETF. Buzz says, say it ain't so. All right, I'm going to take this down because I want y'all to see all of this. And then we're going to raise up. All right, so this is the SoFi Select Select 500 ETF. Today is up $1.06. All right, so I'm gonna do this here year to date, and I'm gonna jot these down. So SFY is a ticker symbol. So Y, and then I'm gonna do 1 and 5. Y is 8.67. That's year to date. 1 year is up 18.11. 5 years, it is up 107.36. Now, this here is equivalent to the VOO or the Vanguard S&P 500. I'm gonna go down here, show y'all some stuff. It does have 505 holdings. Why is it the S&P 500? If it's got 505, you do have some stocks like Berkshire Hathaway, Class A and Class B. You have Alphabet, which is Google's parent company, Class A and Class C. That's why you're going to see more, because one company could have more than one. All right, look who's leading the charge, technology. Now, technology go down. This could, ain't no could, it's going to be hurting. But when it come back, it's coming back. Now, we're going to go to VOO. And then, again, last call for comments, because I'm over the legal limit of how long I wanted to be on here. Vanguard S&P 500. So we're going to start out here. I ain't worried about that. I'm going to start a year to date. It's up 5%. SFY, which a lot of people hadn't heard of or don't mess with it because everybody, all the YouTubers, all the people that everybody listen to is talking about VOO. I have some because I ain't going to miss the train, but I have more SFY than I do VOO. Up 5%. 1 year. 1 year, the S&P Vanguard VOO is up 12.86%. ROD and the SFY peeps, we up 18.11%. So, that's year to date of the year, but let's go out a little bit. 5 years. This is where it changes. But it's still in the favor of SFY. 96.9. Now, anybody will be happy with 96.96. I would too. I would be pleased, but I have a slogan in the world of rock. I'm not telling nobody to adopt this slogan. This is just my slogan. I'm pleased, but I'm rarely satisfied. SFY was 107.36. 8%, actually 96. That's 11% more, roughly 10.5% more than VOO. This year is probably going to be better because I'm sure this has been out longer. So 458% has been longer than SFY. 458%. And yep, 138. Probably because it's been out. So 5 years probably going to be my cutoff, or who knows? Depending on what it's doing, I'll take a check in 5 years. I'm going to check before then, but a hard check. And then this here may move the VOO to capitalize on whatever it did to get to that 400%. Anyway, y'all, that's just a little chit chatting with Rob, man. My mind can be okay. What I'm gonna do, and I see David says a nice ETF. Never heard of it before. Yeah, man. That's why you want to be with investing with Rob, because man, I'm semi-retired. All I do is YouTube. I'm like Tommy on Martin, man. I don't have a job. I have a whole lot of time, and I like to learn stuff. So I'll be researching while most people are sleeping. I'm gonna give you a simple one, bud, but I can understand why you don't care too much for SH. Yeah, I'm in for the long term myself. That's one of the first things you told me. And you said that in a recent comment you put. Are we in it for the long term, Rod? Okay, Rod, while I have you here, do you have a particular investment strategy? It will take a while, and I'll probably do a longer video on it, but I'm going to tell you my short answer to that one. If you do, would you mind sharing? I'm going to tell you part of my strategy. Now, yeah, I have the time to find the good ones information or ones people aren't hearing about, but you really don't need a lot of time to have a good portfolio. You can turn on YouTube for 30 minutes a day, and it's going to be some good people that pop up that you can, in 30 minutes, you probably can get 3 to 6 videos in. And after that, you probably won't even want to hear numbers, because after about 2 hours, I'm done. All right, one of my strategies, this is not necessarily a strategy, this was a goal. Let me jot that down because I want to do I'm gonna do a video. Buzz investment strategy. Here was a goal I had. Wasn't a strategy, but I think this here is somewhere tied into my strategy. Oh man, I put goal there. I meant to put strategy. I wanted to be invested in what most people use every day. And what I mean by that, let me see if I can put it in here. So I'm gonna put this real quick. I'm just gonna take a typical day to work. Typical day to work. This is on your way to work. So not everybody, but this is just a one person. So this one person on the way to work is going to get gas, going to get breakfast, and they don't like the coffee at the breakfast spot, so they're going to get some separate coffee. All right. And I'm going to share this screen here. Let me unshare it to get to where I want to be. And then, y'all, this, I promise this is the last thing. We'll have to save it, the next one, for the next time. Which I may do these Wednesdays as well. All right. Actually, I'm just going to come right here. I think it may do it a little different, but all right, let me just share this here. And it's going to probably do this a little different than I wanted it to. I'll be a little more prepared. I didn't know I was going to be doing this. Let's see here. I thought I took it off. I might have left it up there. I don't know. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here. So gas. Let's just say this individual was getting gas at 7-Eleven because he wanted some gum as well. And the one by my house has an Ekster mobile. Let's see here. I'm just going to scroll down. You're not going to see big balances here. For somebody made a comment. Reason being is I have ExxonMobil in my Chase account. I don't have it here. So I'm getting paid there. Well, how did this person pay? They paid with the Chase card. JP Morgan Chase, ticker symbol JPM. If it says average cost, then I have money in JPM is in a lot of my ETFs as well as my. Matter of fact, I'm not going to go through all of that. That's taking too long. I'm just going to go through this part of it. Chase happens to run their cards on the Visa network. The Visa network, I own stock in Visa. So far, everywhere this person stopped on the way to work, at one place, a gas station, I've, as an owner, potentially made some money in 3 places. I'm going to look at it in Rod's world as I made money. That stock could lose money that day, but in Rod's world, when I say I made money, ExxonMobil, Chase, as well as Visa. They stopped to get some McDonald's because they love McDonald's. I have stock in McDonald's. How did they pay? They use the same Chase card. Now I'm getting paid with Chase and Visa again. They leave there. They're on their way to Starbucks to get some coffee. Well, Rod has stock in Starbucks, but they decide to try Dutch Brothers because it's the new thing they've heard about, and it's always packed. This morning it's not packed. Rod has stock in Dutch Brothers as well as Starbucks. The reason I just gave that little small scenario, that was a short trip to work, and my goal was to be able to get paid. Will I get paid every time somebody leave the house, every stop they make? No. But if you just leave your house, don't stop nowhere but Kroger, I'm getting paid. You don't like Kroger, you want to go to Costco, I got Costco. If you don't like that, and you somewhere in some other part of the country, go to BJ's Wholesale Club. Cool. Costco pissed you off, you switch to Sam's Club, I got stock in Walmart. And that's my thought. Is that my strategy? No, but that was my goal. And I'll get into my strategy. I'm gonna do a whole, probably it may be a 2 or 3 part live or video. I see we got a bit. Yours just came in the crib. Y'all stay tuned. July 14th, next Monday. Event yours, Tanya and Rod, on depending on the topic. We know on the Points Blank Experience, my other channel, and on Event yours on her channel, we're going to be multicasting, and it's called Live and Direct with T and Rod. She knows points and miles. She knows investing. She knows cocktails. She knows traveling. She knows organization, executive, And the list goes on and on and on. And I ain't got enough time to say everything she knows and don't know. So y'all want to tap into that, which not going to be no willy-nilly. We're going to actually have a topic, but we can switch gears at any time, so you don't want to miss it. And all right, David said I was just going to say McDonald's. Yeah, man, everybody. I don't know why. I personally like Whataburger. It's not everywhere, but at least I know they're using a real egg. They're using a real egg at Whataburger, man, because you can see it. You can see it, unless they fooling me. I looked at an egg today at Starbucks. No, that was 2 days ago. I looked at an egg at Starbucks, man. I don't know what that was. It didn't look like no egg, though. But y'all, do me a favor, man. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. We have been rocking 1 hour and 2 minutes. Perfect. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell, man. We are very close to the initial goal of investing with Rod. I'm not going to even say what it is. Someone already said it. I don't want to jinx myself. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing so. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And don't just tell a friend. Don't just share. People will say share the channel. One of the best people on YouTube to share is Event Yours. But I wonder how many people go and watch with all the effort. I know I do, because I see the share. I say, oh man, they're live. Let me go over there. But what I'm going to ask, I'm going to take it a step further. If you share my channel with any of my channels, and if you decide to click a little thing and text it to them or email it, however, please do me a favor and do the person you're sending it to a favor. Let them know the channel they're getting ready to visit is a down-to-earth person. I've been in Mount Everest, not really. I've had all the money I can imagine having, and I've been in the Grand Canyon. I've been as broke as you can ever think about. I've had good credit, and I've had terrible credit. I know what it's like to be on both sides of the situations, regardless. The things I talk about, 98% of the time, are things I've experienced. And instead of watching a whole bunch of other people experience it, I'm going to tell my stories. Some of them are funny. Some of them may not be so funny. But I'm going to tell it, and I may have humor in it. Doesn't mean it was funny when it was happening. But it's cool to look back at it now and laugh. That's just a little note from ROD. Now, please do me a favor. Share the channel. Hit that like button. With all that being said, I am going to raise up. Hope you have a blessed and prosperous week. As always, man, I will be coming at you, dropping more heat, dropping more fire, dropping more knowledge, but more importantly, showing you how to invest on a budget. You only have $5, $10. Steve, I see you just came in. Check out the replay if you wasn't here. You only have $5, $10. Your boy Rod is going to show you how to do it. I ain't got time to do it for you. I will see y'all soon. Again, shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you'll be amongst the stars. I can guarantee you. Peace. Much love, y'all.